talking about lockdown and coming back to comedy, and like it was wild. Like, when we started performing live again, like people started saying this weird stuff like, I'm so glad we're back to performing live comedy. Because live comedy is my therapy. And it isn't. It's not. Live comedy is the drug that makes you forget you need therapy. You should go to therapy. I was just in San Francisco, and I love that town. I love everything about it. I love its ravenous polyamorous couples. I love that game, like Dina was talking about, like sometimes you're just in a room of regular looking people and someone stinks and you can't tell who. They all look normal, like someone in here stinks like a cat covered in gasoline. Is it me? And it's never me. But I landed in town. I went straight to my favorite vegan Chinese place that is run by a cult, and I heard two guys in man buns having like a real serious bro down about Deepak Chopra, and like, real sincere. And then I went out on the street, immediately saw a lady smoking, I think, crack in front of a burrito place, and I'm like, San Francisco, you just keep giving, man. I'm really bringing it all the time. I love it. So the most important thing about me is I have a tattoo, and this is it. It's an octopus. And the most important thing about my tattoo is it has no deeper meaning. It doesn't mean anything. If it means anything at all, it means that at one point I had $500. I can still look at it and remember that time. It's investment dressing. But I met a girl and she had a tattoo with like words on it. It was language. And it was English, which I speak and read, you know. And I asked, I was like, looked at it, and I'm like, that has to mean something, right? So I looked at it and I said, honey, do you have a Mr. tattoo? And she said, nah, it's the Beatles. And she was really mad. She was really mad that I thought it was Mr. But it was a song, it was the song Blackbird. It's like, Blackbird, da 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 da. Yeah, you guys have dads. But the part she had was, eggs, broken wings, and fly. Which is fun. But it's also, take these broken wings and learn to sing words. Like, you can't get mad at me. Because I thought it was a Mr. Mister song. One thing that happens when you have an octopus tattoo is people tell you octopus facts, and here's my favorite octopus fact right now. So an octopus is a soft-bodied guy, right? He's floppy. He's all made of soft parts, you know. And when he's out and about, if he sees like a sharp piece of shell or like glass or a ballpoint pen or something, like they're dangerous with a pen. They'll pick it up, they'll sign everything, and then like they'll hold on to it in case they need to defend themselves from other creatures, right? And then if nothing happens, when they get back to their little cave, they'll dig a little hole and they'll stick it in the ground in front of their cave. And that is what an octopus's garden is. Ringo Starr didn't make it up because he is not creative. Sorry, dads. I learn stuff all the time. I was doing a show in the UK, and I was on a show with this guy, Sam, and he was talking about Tolkien. And he says, and I told my grandma was like, where you going, Sam? And I said, I'm going up Tolkien, Grandma. And the whole audience laughed, but I didn't laugh, because I didn't know what it was. And so, after the set, I was like, Sam, what's dogging? And he got like very shy with me, and he's like blushed a little bit. He's like, oh, I don't know, he called me Stites. And I said, but what is it though? And he's like, You know, it's that thing where you go to a garage or a car park, but it's like a known car park, you know, and you have sex in a car in the car park, and other people watch you and masturbate. Yeah, we don't have any of that. I don't think we do that. Because it's gross. You guys are gross. But it is consensual. So it's still better than Louis C.K. Still better, guys. Thank you. Thank you for people. I do feel bad for men in comedy, guys. I feel bad for men in comedy because, you know, a lot of them can't tell who you can and can't show it to, and it's hard. And they're like, not my sister or a lady at the bus stop or my employee, like, make me a chart. And I refuse to because I don't like to help. And a lot of times they can't tell how old someone has to be. And they're like, she could be 12, she could be 25, I don't know. I'm like, you kind of know. But if you are in that situation where you fancy something, you like someone, and you're not exactly sure how old they are, I like to hit up the old social medias, you know? Like hit up their Insta, hit up their Snap. If they're on Facebook, it's fine. They're 30, don't worry about it. They're crazy, but like just go back a year, 2 years, are you looking at a child? You know? And if you've done that, and you're still not sure, I like to chuck them a set of car keys and ask them to parallel park. And if they can't do it, they're either not 18 or they're from New York. You don't want to do that. You're going to spend a lot of time hearing about how the pizza's not as good, you know? I'll tell you this, I don't like it when male comics wear a wedding ring on stage, because it's like, why would I listen now? You know, it's like, if you're so funny, why don't you go home and make your wife laugh, you slut? I mean, it's hard to admit, men aren't funny, like, for the most part. Like, if they were gonna be funny, they would have done it by now. Like, they had every chance. Look, and part of it is jealousy. I too wish I could shit myself in public and have a closer, but God hasn't smiled on me in that way. Don't act like I don't have 20,000 followers on TikTok, because I do. It's not very many, guys. It's not very many. But I have TikTok haters, because that's something that happens. But it's great because for the most part they're 12 and they have a real limited burn capacity, you know. They say things like, "You're so funny, I forgot to laugh." And I'm like, Tyler, I'm an adult. Like, I've lost a dad, right? Like, I've been divorced before. Like, someone looked at me and said, "Yes, till death do us part." And then, only 8 short years later, he said, "I changed my mind." Like, it's gonna take more than a series of opposite date shows to really fuck with me, you know? I was married. I learned a lot. I learned this. I learned your guy friends don't like you like that. When I got married, it was like a vacuum seal. All the men left the area. Like, oh, you just thought we would maybe have sex like that. They didn't like me. They were just like, well, maybe she'll drop a little. I don't know. But I learned that marriage is like the puzzle game of Jenga, right? It can stand for a long time, even though it's full of holes and really has no foundation left. And also, both things can be destroyed by one drunk whore at a party. It's true. TikTok didn't like that joke, and let me tell you for why. reason to shit on her, she wasn't married to you. And there's no reason to call her a sex worker. And besides, it would be perfectly fine if she was. Yes, that's true. But I'm the expert here. I've been doing this a while. And I know the joke doesn't work the same if I say my friend Erica. That's something I know. Oh, it's all right. My husband was one of those Burning Man people, Like, he wouldn't take an aspirin for a headache because Western medicine is poison. But he would take any drug given to him by a man in a fur vest. Because that's what a doctor looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody knows. Goodness gracious. I think marriage is a twig. I think I got twigged. Because, you go your whole life looking forward to it, expecting it, thinking it's important, and what women think is that it's going to make our lives easier. What I found out is you have to work just as hard as you were doing before, except for now you have the dead weight of another human being on your back. Their little arms around your neck, choking you the fuck out every day of your life. You know why you wear a veil when you get married, so you can't see what's coming. It is a wonderful time to be a woman. People have pointed it out. Especially when you have like cool guy friends like I have, and they're just like, man, I really feel for you guys. This Roe v. Wade shit. Man, this sucks. It sucks. I wish there was something I could do. You really think this isn't gonna affect you? like, you think I'm gonna risk having a baby with someone who vapes a jewel? You think, how casual is casual sex? When something very easily could happen and I would have to stop being a stand-up comedian and move back in with my mom in Pig Snout, Arkansas, and raise a whole human. It's not, you're also here too. Everyone is here. It is also weird though, because I'm at the age where sometimes people get pregnant on purpose, like they want to. I'm not prepared for that. They're like, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm like, oh God, what are you gonna do? Have a baby with my husband? Oh yeah, no, that's cool. It's cool. And one of my girlfriends was like, I'm pregnant. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Great knowing you. I'll see you never. And she's like, no. I'm gonna be a cool mom. I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna be a cool mom. I'm gonna still go out, tear it up and dance on tables. I'm like, baby, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a cool mom, because to be cool, to be a mom, you have to give over all of your wants and desires and dreams and subsume, give them over to this other person. This other person is more important than you are. And to really be cool, you have to be able to say at any moment, hey, I might fuck around with heroin. You really have to, take 6 months off and really learn how to blow that horn, And that's not available to moms.
It's true.
Now, you can't be a cool dad because being a dad is something that happens to men on the weekend. A lot of people ask me, is there a theme to your work? And I really don't know if there is. I did get tricked. I spit in a vial and I sent it to ancestry.com, and I don't know what it was thinking. I was just like, what kind of white person am I? And the answer is so Irish, just profoundly Irish, just so dull, mind-numbingly Irish, just I am the product of thousands and thousands of generations of people fucking with no sense of adventure. Just they never went anywhere, they never met anyone, they never got on a boat. They were just like in a mud hut, like crossing the street, like we've lived in the same county our whole lives, Bridget, would you like to see it? You know, that's it. That's it. And I told my sisters how embarrassingly fucking Irish we are. And one of my sisters goes, that sounds cool, I might do that. Guys, she went to college. She has a tech job. I'm like, bitch, you don't have to. I'm an animal lover, which means I love animals, and I don't have an animal right now, but my roommate has a cat, so I like sort of have a cat, because like sometimes there's a cat that lives with me, and she's not always using it, you know? And sometimes there's cat for me to love, like I can touch a nice soft cat, and she feeds the cat venison. She feeds it deer meat. Have you guys heard of this? It's something that white girls will do when they don't have kids, and like, because they just want the cat to have the very best, like, she eats better than any homeless person. And I don't think it's wrong, like, I don't think it's like morally bad or anything. I just think that it sets the cat up for disappointment, right? Because like when there's food in the bowl, she wants it to be deer meat. Like, what if our lives were to change? Could not provide that for her. Like, I guess what I'm asking is, do you guys have any idea how many cats it would take to take down a fucking deer? Like 30, 40 cats. Working together. In a way that cats don't. Just out in the forest with walkie-talkies. Meow. Meow.
So good.
And I didn't come here to get a ton political, but I just think that cat food should be made out of something that a domesticated house cat has a reasonable shot at. Squirrel with a foot off. Paralyzed rabbit. Bird with a broken wing. And the label can just like have the bird with his wing in a sling. And like a little word bubble that says, that's nature. Like most of you, I was in Sri Lanka recently. And I went to this elephant orphanage. And it's great because it's all the baby elephants you can eat. And then, you don't get it. But the first elephant, he's an old blind bull elephant, and they have him like tied up and they feed him pineapple all day. And his job is to stand there while rich white ladies pet him. And we get to feel his leathery skin. And it's great. I'm having a great time. He's having a great time. It's great. And then it wasn't my turn anymore. And then the next person who came up, she was very tan, and she had like ugly sunglasses and a man's haircut. And I thought, probably Australian. And then I thought, where the fuck do you get off? Like, you don't know this lady. You don't know if she's Australian. Bored a French bulldog to sleep. Doesn't take much. And then what happened was the elephant like made this noise, goes, and then and his penis came out. And I didn't know that he kept it somewhere. Like, this is okay for the 13-year-old to learn. This is nature. And but I definitely, when they saw it, I'm like, oh, I would have seen that. Like if that, and it starts coming out. And that's when I found out that I'm not a very good person, because I will take a picture of an old blind elephant's penis. And I felt so self-conscious, but then I'm like, what am I worried about? What is he gonna do, see it on Instagram, you know? He's an elephant. Also, he's blind. But so he comes out and he starts pissing everywhere. And it's just like shooting out and like shooting out everywhere. And I got out of there. It was a bad scene. I didn't want to be there anymore. But later in the day, I saw that lady, and I was like, wow, you got like a shower or whatever. And she goes, yeah, I got a golden shower, didn't I? Because of course she was Australian. Of course she was. If you think someone is Australian, don't doubt yourself. I was doing a bar show recently. I mean, it's all the time, but a lady comes up to me and it was really exciting because she was like, I follow you on TikTok. I'm a fan of yours. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And she's like, it's so cool to meet you. I'm like, it's okay, people do it all the time. And then she was like, will you come meet my table of friends? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. And then I meet a very nice table of ladies, and they were very nice. And then she goes, Virginia's so funny. She has this great joke about how she wants to touch her nephew's dick, but her sister won't let her. And I think you guys know me well enough to know that's not what the joke is. That's not what it's about. So then I had to tell a 30-second version of this joke that starts right now to get out of trouble with these ladies. So, okay, I mean, you know me. So, like, you know that I'm not a kid-having person, right? Like, that's not my path. But did you know that if you don't have kids, you don't have to recycle? It's not my duty to leave a better world for anyone. I shall leave this earth leaving a scorch mark on a shoe collection. By the power of Grayskull! Yeah, but I know kids, like my sisters have some, and there's one that I like, and then there's another one. And like, the one that I like is kind of shallow. It's because he's biracial, and that makes me feel cool, right? Like, I don't make the rules. Like, there's a black kid who pretty much has to hang out with me. I like it. And the other one is just made of white people, and it's like, did we need him? Like, is he a have to have or a nice to have? Like, that's what's gonna get us out of this shit is another white man, really? But the good one, he's 8, he goes to the doctor, and part of his exam is the doctor says, and buddy, who's allowed to touch your privates? And he said, anyone I know. And the doctor was not knocked out by this. And so we talked to my sister, and like, you need to really like when you go to college, you know, it can be anyone you know. When you go to San Francisco, it can be anyone you know. When you're 8, it needs to be a curated list. So my sister, she calls me and she's like, I've gotten the family together, so here's the list. It's grandma, grandpa, grandma because grandpa's dead, I said that earlier, and then mom and dad, and then that's it. And I said, great list, I love it. Good job, good parenting. And then she asked me, are you okay not being on the list? I'm sorry. Am I okay not being on the 8-year-old dick touch list? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am okay. Like, it's not, no one like, I don't want to. You can't make me, it's not like that club at Disneyland everyone freaks out about. It's not fucking Studio 54. You can't make me be on it, okay, for one. And I'm like, you know, you and I are good friends, you're my sister. I figure if I'm with him, and we're in some sort of an 8-year-old dick touch emergency, like, what the fuck would that be? You know, I figure I can call you. You guys have been awesome. I'm going to tell you 2 more things and then release you to the wild. One thing is, I know what you guys are really after, you sick fucks. You're here for stickers. But I have stickers, and they're shiny, and I give them to you with the cost of friendship, okay? And it's my, it's my Insta, it's my TikTok, everything, all that stuff. If you want to follow me on this shit. Anyway, thank you very much. You're so expressive. I wonder, is there medication to help? This whole time he's been doing this complicated, like, puppet show, I guess, for me. But the last thing I'm going to tell you, good news, Santa Cruz. I have solved mass shootings. So, but I need buy-in, right? Thank you. One clap. So here's what the thing is. Okay, so men, your time with guns is over. Right? I'm sorry. And it's like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 5,000 times, right? Shame on you. But like, we can't get rid of the guns because we would lose our freedoms. So that's where everyone else steps up. Women, trans men, non-binary persons. And we're not fucking around. We have to train to use them, okay? We have to carry them. Everyone's gonna have to get a bigger purse. It's just how it is. But what happens is, day one, mass shootings are over. They're a thing of the past. You're gonna have to explain to your grandkids what they are, and your grandkids will still be alive to hear it. But day two, you're gonna step back and go, wow, domestic violence is actually way down. You're gonna step to me when I have a gun. Day three, sexual assault is actually really way down. You're gonna try it on with me when I have a gun? And then all the dominoes keep falling. All of these problems, like wage inequity. You're gonna pay me less? And then it keeps falling. Cryptocurrency, man-spreading, hitting on people at the gym.